I am currently on my way back to the city after camping out in the wilderness for a while in the back of this Toyota quick delivery van here in Japan. And for those of you guys who don't know or didn't watch my last video, I am traveling Japan, living out of the back of this truck for a few days, camping on the beach and driving down the coast, and today we're heading back into the city to do a little bit of stealth camping, hopefully. I don't really know if I'm going to be able to find a spot, because if you've watched my videos, you know parking, especially a vehicle relatively this big, this is a larger vehicle for Japan. But in America, this would be a small car, but all the other cars here are just incredibly small. Before we head down to the city, there's this cool, I don't know if it's a national park or a state park. So I pulled in here real quick to check it out on our way back down there. But like I said in my last video, this is kind of why my favorite way to travel in new places is to get a vehicle, stay in it, and just drive around, because you wouldn't be able to get to places like this if you weren't in a vehicle, because there's no public transit that leads here. I guess you could take a tour or bus, but it's just so much more convenient, one, having a vehicle to drive around in, and two, having a hotel room to stay in for the night, so you kind of get two for the price of one. But I haven't really taken a lot of time to explore the countryside here, so I figured I'd stop here real quick and check out the views. There's supposed to be some cool basalt formations and nice views of the ocean, so a lot of people out here today. Wow. Well, I guess those are those like basalt features. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen the pictures from Iceland, where it's like those geometric kind of spires. And so those kind of look like over there. I don't know if you'll be able to see it on camera though, but pretty cool. It's a beautiful country. Oh, so something I've realized in my time here is that there's almost no free parking, especially in cities. So I might have to get a little creative when I try to find my spot tonight, or I'll just have to end up paying for parking, which isn't that big of a deal. But I think we have made it to the top, and I think that's another thing that's kind of stood out to me about being in Japan is there's queues everywhere. Every restaurant you go to has a queue. Pretty much anywhere you go that's going to be popular, there's going to be a line, but it's almost nicer. It's a little more organized. So waiting to check out, I'm guessing, the viewpoint at the top up here. Ooh. Not going to take too long up here because there's a lot of people, but look at that. Spectacular. 360 degrees. Pretty crazy. But short-lived because there's a lot of people waiting. If we were in America, there would have been 15 people all cram-packed on that platform. No line, no order. Oh, we got a short hike back down to the car. It's a pretty universal picture. Missing a letter, but I'm gonna follow that sign and see what an hot dog is. I think this is it. It says it's open. Look at this. I don't know what this is, what kind of meat it is, but that looks so good. Cheers. Oh, it's so good. There hasn't been one place that I've gone to where the food hasn't been spectacular. Delicious. So we are currently in the Fukuoka Prefecture on the western side of Japan, heading into Fukuoka City, which is the capital. And so far it's been my favorite city because I stayed there for about a day or two before I got this truck. It's just not as crowded, there's just as many things to do, and it's specifically known for my favorite food, which is tonkatsu ramen. So first things first, I'm gonna head into the city, find a campsite, and then after we figure that out, which might take a while because as I've said, parking is kind of a nightmare, I'm gonna find somewhere where I can get some good Fukuoka tonkatsu ramen. Made it back to the city. I found a parking lot on Google Maps that looks like it'll be big enough to pull into and hopefully allows overnight parking. But we're about a mile away. I'm just hoping it's not too crowded this weekend because it is a holiday weekend here in Japan, sports day. I'm not really sure what sports day is, but I'm assuming it's going to mean that there's going to be more people down here, but hopefully we can find a spot. Ooh. Oh! Alright. I think this is going to be our home for the night. It's just like being back home in the Walmart parking lots. Spot seems as good as any. we go. This is home for the night. Hopefully I'm close to a subway station. I never really looked that up. So we can just hop on the subway and head like into the heart of the city, which I think is that way. So I think I'm gonna head in there, grab some ramen, and also meet up with my friend Donovan, who, as I said, is still here in Japan. He's just not with me, but he's staying in a pod hotel tonight and tomorrow. So we're gonna go meet up with him after lunch. But before I head out, since I have all of my personal belongings in the back of this car, I'm gonna put up these covers. It also might get a little cold tonight, so I'm gonna bring a jacket, because I don't think I'm gonna be coming back to the van until it's time for bed. So we are actually about a 10-minute walk to the nearest metro, so it's not the closest, but it could be worse. I will say that the trains and the subway here have been pretty easy to navigate, unless you're in one of the big stations like Tokyo Station or somewhere where there's like 17 tracks, then it can get kind of confusing. But they do make it pretty easy. A lot of the times there's something on the floor that'll show you where you need to go. But at these smaller stations, it's pretty easy. There's just two trains. One going left and one going right. And we're back. The shop should be up here, I think on the left, just past this building. I think that's it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, almost 12 stories of ramen. It's gotta be good. 30 to 40 minute wait. With how many people are in front of me? So they give you this sheet while you're in line to pick kind of your ramen preferences. I went for soft noodles because I think I like soft noodles more. And then I went for one of richness instead of medium. But that's the only thing I did out of their recommendations. I made it in. So each seat is its own like individual booth, and then the kitchen is right in front of you. And they pull this up and down after you put your order in. And the whole purpose is to kind of be able to eat in isolation and make requests without speaking.
お付近こちら失礼いたします。
ありがとうございます。
では失礼いたします。
ありがとうございます。There we go. The reason that they do it like this, and the reason that these stalls are private, is kind of to enhance the dining experience, if you will. Because when you're eating alone, the idea is that you can focus on the food and exactly what you're eating and not on other things, kind of where the taste of the food is the only thing you're focused on. And these booths are actually known as flavor concentration booths. So you can kind of immerse yourself in the enjoyment of the ramen without the social pressure or interruption of having to order. So that's what I'm gonna do. That was so good. And when you're done, you just leave. Super easy. With traveling alone, it would be nice if all restaurants were kind of like that. Then I'd feel a lot less weird eating alone as much as I do with my travels. But I think I'm gonna go try to find Donovan, see where he's at. Look who it is.
I missed you. Don't ever leave me again.
How was your non-van life bed? Was it cozier?
It's pretty good.
So if you're unfamiliar with what a Don Quijote is in Japan, you'll pretty much see them in every single major city. They're these gigantic 7-story, 8-story stores. I've been into a few of them and I didn't know what the purpose of them was. They feel like a giant dollar store, honestly.
Yeah.
That's 7 stories tall. But they actually have a pretty interesting story and some good stuff. This is actually right here. And you just walk in and it's like the epitome of chaos, just random stuff everywhere. Usually there are multiple floors. I don't know if this one is. Oh, Tamagotchis? I haven't had a Tamagotchi since I was in
Japan edition?
first grade. No. When did these out? Like 5th grade? But anyways, back to my story before I got interrupted by the Tamagotchis. But the name of the story Don Quixote is actually based on the character Don Quixote from the Spanish novel. And in his book, Don Quixote is this dreamer who sets off on these wild adventures. He thinks he's some kind of knight in shining armor sent to save the world, but in reality, he's fighting what he believes are monsters, but in the end, they turn out to just be windmills, and he's kind of delusional. And Don Quixote, the store, is supposed to tap into that same kind of vibe and adventure and discovery, because walking through it is like walking through your own quest. You never really know what you're going to walk into or what you're going to find. So it's kind of like a treasure hunt, just like Don Quixote's quests, or so I read online. But there is a lot of stuff here and it is pretty chaotic. This one isn't as bad as the mega Don Quixote that we went to in Tokyo. Don couldn't even go in. No. Because he was so overwhelmed by how many people there were, how many floors there were, and everything that was in there. But ready to get out of here?
Do it.
So Don doesn't eat pork or beef. And the only ramen they had at Ichiran was the tonkatsu, which is pork made with pork bones. So Don has to go get some food somewhere else. So we're stopping at this Mexican place because we've had a bunch of Japanese food, but we wanted to try how Japanese people do other types of food, like Mexican or Italian and that kind of stuff. Supposedly Japan is known for its pizza, which is weird. I still haven't had a pizza yet, but I do want to get one. We'll see how good Japanese Mexican food is. Wow.
Look at the presentation.
I don't get that in the States.
Looks pretty good. What's this sauce?
I don't know. What is it?
I don't know.
How is it?
Hot. It's very good though.
Scale 1 to 10.
Oh my god, 8.6.
8.6. That's pretty good. For a quesadilla?
Yeah, it was a quesadilla.
That's what I'm saying. All the food we've had here has been so good. Nothing has been amiss. So we realized when we were at the Mexican restaurant that we actually Ubered to a spot that was right next to where my truck was. So we're gonna go hang out in the truck for a little bit. I'm gonna get changed because I feel kind of sweaty after walking around all day. And then we're gonna take an Uber back, I think, into the city to go to the Yatai food stalls, which are these famous food stalls here in Fukuoka, because Fukuoka is known for such good food, specifically at these food stalls. So that's where I wanna get dinner tonight. But we've got about 2.5 hours to go before the food stalls open. So since we're already here, just hang out in the truck and then head back over there. Home sweet home.
Oh, this is nice.
Yeah. If you guys watched my last video, Don was camping with me in a camper that was way smaller than this one. This one we got a table, we got chairs on both sides. I don't know if you can fit on that side though. I can't fit on that side. We're just gonna hang out here for the next hour and then hit the streets for dinner. Got dark fast.
Oh, man, it sure did.
Also another benefit to this parking lot, again, because there's bathrooms right next to it. So hit the bathroom and then we're gonna catch an Uber down to those food stalls. Also, something I've noticed since we've been in Japan is just the amount of people that are out on the streets at any given time is just crazy. Any time of the day when you're walking around, there's just always so many people out, no matter what city you're in. But technically these yatai or street food stalls are all over the city, but this place is supposed to be like most of them in one area. I don't imagine we're gonna be able to get a seat based on how many people are out here right now.
It's crazy.
But we'll at least walk by and check out a few of them and hopefully get some food somewhere. So these are them. They set up every single night. It's kind of like a farmer's market, but just way cooler. And I would love to get a seat at one of these stalls, but there's a queue for every single one and every single seat is full. But I think there's a bunch of them down at the end over here where we can maybe hopefully get some just quick to go food. But apparently from what I've read online, these yatai date back to the Edo period, which is like a few hundred years ago, as like I guess an early version of fast food. But I think they really took off after World War II when people were trying to rebuild and people were trying to start businesses, and this was a good way to do it. You can build it up, you can set it down, you can put it anywhere. And so far, the only place that we've been in Japan that has this kind of strong yatai culture, I guess, still is Fukuoka. And that's kind of what they're known for, is these street stalls. And I feel like it's kind of more than just getting like a quick bite to eat, because right now it's definitely not quick with the amount of people that are here, but it's like the whole vibe of it. You're right next to the river, you're sitting out here, it's like social, you can hang out. It looks a little bit less packed over here by the food trucks. So I think we're just trying to get some over here as opposed to waiting 45 minutes in line to get something. This looks like kind of like a more modernized area of the yatai, but this fried chicken looks good. I've also never had yakitori before I came here, but it's basically just fried chicken skin. It is so good. Arigatou gozaimasu. All right, so we decided to come sit down here by the river because there's a bunch of loudspeakers playing right next to us over there, but it's a little bit more.
Jesus, they say long potato, they are not playing.
Holy. Damn.
So long. Yeah.
What potato did this come from?
GMO.
What potato do you know that's that big? That's crazy. We got some fried chicken skins and some fried chicken. So we're gonna see how good it is. Cheers.
Cheers, brother. That's pretty good.
That's pretty good fried chicken.
What sauce do you put on here?
I don't know. I always say the food is so good when I try it, but this chicken is so juicy on the inside and so crunchy on the outside. And I have no idea what sauce I put on this. I don't know if I've ever had it before, but it is so good.
It's amazing.
If there's one thing that I think will be the most memorable about this trip, is one, how polite the people here are, and two, how good the food is. I would come back here just for those two reasons alone, let alone the culture and everything else we've done. I've only been to so many countries, but this is by far one of the most amazing countries as a whole that I've ever been to.
So out of the 3 big cities we've been to, how would you rank them?
I go Fukuoka 1, Osaka 2, Tokyo 3.
That's fair. I think I have the same
I like Fukuoka best just because it's not as crowded. Admittedly, it looks pretty crowded right now. It's not as crowded, but just as fun. Osaka is the next step up, a little bit more crowded, still pretty fun. Tokyo's a little bit too crowded, and Fukuoka and Osaka have pretty much the same thing, in my opinion. So if I was going to come to Japan again, I'd probably come back to Fukuoka or Osaka. All in all, great place to travel to, but we're going to enjoy this chicken and then pretty much just figure out what we're doing next. Like, are these from one singular potato?
I feel like, I mean,
There's no way.
They can't, it can't be.
It's got to be like mashed and then shaped and then fried. That would be the world's largest potato.
No way. Is this Gundam style?
I think so.
Go up and do this.
You do it.
It's 35.
3, 2, 1, 32.
19. Oh, I almost said 32. I swear to God, I almost said 32.
What is the Gundam style dance? I don't even remember.
In the music video, he's just like,
Oh, yeah. See?
Yeah.
You just did it for free.
hi.
Hello. That food was so good, but another thing about these yatai, especially in like this area that's so cool, is they're out of mini trucks. This is like a Volkswagen style, and then this one's just like a standard, almost exactly the same design as mine. Wow. If you've watched my other videos, this looks exactly like how my mini truck looks, just a little bit smaller. I think that's pretty much it for the yatai. Don has his hotel room, or I guess capsule pod hotel room for the night. And I have to make my way back to the van, so I'm gonna get an Uber back there. I will see you guys when I get there. Beautiful. Made it back home. That was definitely some of the best fried chicken and definitely some of the best street food that I've ever had in my life. But it is nice to be back and laying down in the truck, but I think it's time to get ready for bed. I already got most of the stuff I needed to get done before we went out. Got all my curtains put up in the front, all my curtains put up in the back. Let me get these lights off and get to bed. I'm putting my hand over the camera. You guys just can't see it, but I will see you guys in the morning. Good morning. It got really cold last night. Made it through the night in this parking lot. It was pretty quiet the whole night. I guess there's a lot of cars here now, but I think I'm going to start to get myself packed up back here and get out of here. So, as always, truly appreciate you guys watching. If you haven't already, think about clicking that subscribe button. It really does help out the channel. And I will catch you guys next time.